Item Number, YOS-2173. Object Class, Safe. Containment Procedures, YOS-2173 is to be stored in a standard locker at Site 18. Testing is only to be conducted by 2 Level 2 personnel and 1 subject under the age of 10, and testing is to conclude once the procedure is completed, and the object produced by YOS-2173 is to be examined accordingly. No one is to interact with YOS-2173 under any circumstances, and any subject above the age of 10 is to be removed from YOS-2173's presence. Description: YOS-2173 is a McDonald's Happy Meal box dating back to 2004, but with a Spanish text imprinted on it. YOS-2173 shows no abnormalities from the interior and exterior, and appears to remain intact despite being exposed to chemicals for years. When YOS-2173 is opened in a traditional way, a random item will manifest within it. The item varies in size, matter, and shape, and appears to depend on if the subject has a different behavior or age. Human subjects below the age of 10 are expected to have an item, usually a toy that they claim is their favorite, and also when the subject has a positive behavior, in which they get that specific item. But subjects below the age of 10 will get a type of decaying or contaminated substance, usually a decaying leaf, salt water, or rotting animals, if they have a negative behavior. Subjects above the age of 10 will often get an item that is a part of adulthood, usually a wallet, money, degree, or license, and will immediately be considered the subject's own item. But subjects above the age of 10 who behave negatively will get an unpleasant smell, the smell mostly emitted from an unknown source, but other subjects report that the unpleasant smell is emitted from diapers filled with feces, urine, sweat, and even decaying animals inside the box. The item will disappear within 2 minutes if the subject does not remove it from the box. YOS-2173 was discovered when a 7-year-old male by the name of Redacted gained possession of it, and used it to acquire lots of toys when he discovered that the box can continuously produce toys he likes. Agents were sent out to contain the object when Redacted's mother posted this on social media. The object was secured and the child and mother were given amnestics. Addendum: Testing log of items produced by YOS-2173. The following is a list of all items produced by YOS-2173 prior to containment. Subject: D16609, a 23-year-old white male. Procedure: D16609 is instructed to open YOS-2173 and discuss what he sees. Results: Subject complained of a very unpleasant smell, and initially refused to look at the item. Once instructed further, he looked down covering his nose. The subject noticed a Pampers diaper filled with feces, inducing immediate disgust on the subject. The subject was then instructed to pick up the item. The subject initially refused, but eventually relented and removed it from YOS-2173. The item was removed from the testing chamber and examined. The feces seems to belong to a human subject not yet identified, and was dated back to 2013. Further analysis of the subject is ongoing. Subject: D22679, a 28-year-old white female. Procedure: same as previous test. Results: Subject complained of an unpleasant smell after opening it, and relentlessly looked down at the source. D22679 reported that there is a small decaying rodent in the box, and is being swarmed by numerous insects. The subject is instructed to remove the rodent from the box, which the subject quickly takes it out. Once removing it, the insects that swarmed it disappeared for reasons unknown. The deceased rodent was taken out of the testing chamber and examined. The decaying rodent is found to be a deceased specimen of Mus musculus, house mouse, which was presumably deceased a few months before the test was conducted. How YOS-2173 is able to transfer the corpse inside it is unknown. Note: I don't know why YOS-2173 is providing both subjects with revolting items, as it doesn't seem to provide them with acceptable materials as with the kid that had it. I think it might only work on children under the age of 10, so maybe we should try that. Dr. Simon. Subject: name redacted, a 8-year-old white male. Forward, subject was taken from an adoption center following the child's parents being killed by a car accident, and was taken in for testing. Procedure, same as previous tests. Results, no unpleasant smell was noticed by subject, but reports that a picture of his deceased family members appeared in the box. The subject showed signs of sympathy and disappointment upon looking at it, but became calm and relaxed upon holding and embracing it. The subject was allowed to keep the photo to cope with the loss. Subject, name redacted, a 5-year-old Hispanic female. Forward, subject was taken following being abandoned by her parents during a fallout, and was used for testing. Results, subject reports that a colorful stuffed animal that resembles a unicorn was in the box, and became immediately happy, as she took it out of the box and played around with it, saying that it's her favorite toy. The subject was allowed to keep the toy and was provided a humanoid cell furnished to be a standard playroom due to abandonment. Subject, name redacted, a 7-year-old white male. Forward, subject was retrieved following being taken to foster care due to an incident caused by his parents. The subject was taken with permission from foster parents and used for testing. Results, a folded blank paper was seen in the box, and the subject was ordered to unfold it. It appears to be a note, which read, "Son, not everything is what you may think. This world can be cruel and unpredictable at times, and it thinks you're not ready for it, which is why I don't need you anymore. I don't want to see you suffer. I need you to be safe. I'm sorry, but this needed to happen." This note could have been written by the child's biological parents, but no such report was made of this. The child showed great disappointment upon reading the note, but was allowed to keep the note and was returned to his foster parents. Subject, name redacted, a 13-year-old male of African descent. Forward, subject was retrieved prior to being abandoned by his parents during a fallout. Subject was taken for testing. Results, subject noticed a brown wallet filled with $100 bills and a credit card with $200. The subject showed great surprise upon seeing this, and immediately took it out of the box. When the subject asked if he could keep it, the personnel approved, but they needed to test the item first before he could have it. Analysis shows that there are no abnormalities on the wallet, and seem to show some signs of damage. It is thought that this wallet was from another individual who abandoned the wallet from an unknown time period, and YOS-2173 transferred it inside it to give it to the subject. Regardless, the wallet was given to the subject and was raised by foster parents. Subject, name redacted, a 6-year-old white male. Forward, subject was retrieved following being transferred to an adoption center due to misbehaving around parents. The subject was taken for testing. Results, subject reported that water filled up the box, and the subject was provided a bucket to pour it into. The subject proceeded to pour it in, and brought it to Foundation researchers for analysis. The liquid is identical to salt water, and was covered partially in dirt. The liquid was disposed of in a nearby lake, and the subject was taken back to the adoption center. Note, it seems that people above the age of 10 get an item that is used by an adult, and children under 10 who showed bad behavior would get a random substance or material instead of a toy. Meaning that the box can tell if a person is older, misbehaving, or good enough to receive something good or bad. Interesting. Dr. Simon. Addendum, after 10 tests have been conducted, all future tests are put on hold, and future tests must be approved by 2 Level 2 personnel and conducted accordingly.